ride in a one-horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing sleigh sail tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Anybody got a request? Need to look a lot. I've got Happy Hanukkah, my friend. God rest ye merry gentlemen. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night. There was so deep Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night. That was so deep. It was so deep.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle LeMay, and I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSL. And I'm going to share a few announcements that we got going on this week because we have lots still to happen. We no longer will be having the Healing Circle on Thursday, so if you had that on the calendar, make sure you take it off. We will resume after the new year, but no Healing Circle this Thursday. But Friday, we're still going to have our spiritual cinema at 6:30, and it's the movie All about forgiveness, the power of forgiveness, told through the story of a small African village, and the movie's called Fumball Talk? Yeah, Fumball Talk. Family Talk is what the translation is. Oh, all right. So join us for that. We always have a live discussion afterwards, lively discussion. It is live, though, because we do it at the time. And, of course, we always have popcorn, always. And then Sunday, we have our regular Sunday service with a special message all about rebirthing joy. And then we'll have a New Year's Eve celebration to close out the new year and ring in the new year. And that's going to be from 5 to 6. So join us on next Monday, New Year's Eve. And we do still have the box out back for the food bank. That's going to be going until December 31st as well. And then to keep with the flow of this evening, if you'd like to leave a donation, we will have baskets in the back, but we're not going to do an official collection. So we invite you to do that if you feel called. All right. Well, thank you for your kind attention. And I'd like to introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Well, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and season of love to all of you. It is so good to be back. If you didn't know, we have been gone for a few days, and when we were gone, it looks as though our seats have been changed. So,
we want to thank Michelle. We want to thank Michelle May and Reverend Diane for covering for us while we were gone.
Yes.
So, but today's a new day.
It is.
A new night, and so the theme for tonight is peace on earth. But before we started, I wanted to just read you something, because it is Christmas, and it is a celebration all around the world of the birth of Jesus, who we call Jesus the Christ. So we wanted to, in case you're not familiar with the science of mind philosophy, we wanted to let you know what we think about Jesus, what we feel about Jesus, what we know about him in the sense of our philosophy. And Ernest Holmes wrote, "Mental science does not deny the divinity of Jesus, but it does affirm the divinity of all people. It does not deny that Jesus was the Son of God, but it affirms that all men and women are the sons and daughters of God. It does not deny that the kingdom of God was revealed through Jesus, but it says that the kingdom of God is also revealed through you and through me." So we are more about everything Jesus taught, and we consider him the great way shower. And so one of the greatest things he did teach was peace within. So tonight we're going to celebrate that. And we will be singing a lot of some of the traditional hymns of Christmas. And we will discuss and talk about some of the metaphorical meanings of them. But if you can think about it more as the Christ within you, the Christ consciousness, the love, the peace within you awakening tonight, it gives it a whole new meaning. So thank you for that.
And what we're trying to also do is go around the fact that if you hear things like Christ is my Savior and things of that we don't have like sweating things happening out in and that where you're going, what'd they say? So I just say stay open and away from the words and into the feelings. Right. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, so to start the evening, what did she say? To start the evening, we are going to light our peace candle just in celebration of tonight. Yes. And just light it. And I am, once I get
and
this
we have
lit,
Barbara Davis here on the wonderful piano,
and
Louis.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for coming in.
So let's just take a deep breath and just start our night. Start this moment, just this moment, recognizing that power and presence of the divine that moves and lives and breathes through all of creation, through each and every one of us, seen and unseen, through the mountains to the sea, to the flower, to the butterfly. It's all that divine presence, that light, that Christ light, that consciousness, that beautiful, amazing presence. And I recognize that here tonight, as we gather together, I recognize and affirm that it is awakened at even a deeper level tonight, that we get to dive deep into that beautiful place of peace, that beautiful place of love, and bring that out tonight in this service so that we can bring it out into our lives and expand not just our consciousness, but the whole lifting of the consciousness of this planet into peace. So I bless this night. I know it's good, and I bless everyone serving tonight and everyone here. knowing that we are in the perfect flow together, and it unfolds in the most perfect way for each of us. As I release my word as law, as we affirm together, and so it is. Okay, so we have a chant, and it's pretty easy, and Barbara will lead us in it.
Good tidings we bring of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Of peace on earth, of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Good tidings we bring of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Of peace on earth, of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Good tidings we bring of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Of peace on earth, of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Good tidings we bring of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Of peace on earth, of peace on earth, goodwill to all.
And now I invite up Dr. Peggy Price, who is going to share a special candle lighting with us.
Thank you, Rita and Patrick. And almost Reverend Michelle, thank you for being my candle lighter tonight. You are always a light in the world. Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas, and so nice to be here tonight. Well, this is a candle lighting service, and so we're going to be lighting some candles. And that sort of seems obvious, doesn't it? But tonight we celebrate an age-old tradition of the coming of light into the world. Just 3 nights ago, we celebrated the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. In the pagan tradition, which preceded the Christian tradition, the festival of Yule is celebrated with the beginning of a very large log and the lighting of a very large log and bonfires to commemorate the coming of light into the world. The solstice represents the transitory time of coming out from seeming darkness into the light. And this year on Kauai, it was magically illumined by the most beautiful moon that cast silvery brush strokes across the landscape and beautiful silver pathways on our ocean. I hope you saw it. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Indigenous traditions also observe this time in many different ways. Hawaiians celebrate makahiki, which is their word for bringing something new into the world, like Hau'oli makahiki ho, Happy New Year. They celebrate this from a period of time from the end of the harvest to the beginning of their new crops. Around the world, people of many different cultures and traditions and religions observe this dark time of the year with celebrations of light. So as we light these candles tonight, they are meant to represent these many observances and their commonality. In late autumn, in the Hindu tradition, the festival of light, Diwali, celebrates light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Really beautiful universal themes that we all agree on all over the world. Hanukkah is celebrated with its own festival of lights. Hanukkah is the celebration of the rededication of the Second Temple in Israel, and the miracle of a small cruse of oil meant only to last one day that lasted for 8. Some sects of Buddhism observe the enlightenment of the Buddha in December. And the Christian tradition, celebrating the birth of Jesus, see that bright star in the east as the coming of the light of the world. A more recent observance of light is Kwanzaa, honoring African heritage, unity, and culture, which is celebrated beginning December 26th and continues for 7 days. And each day highlights a principle by the lighting of a colored candle. So although each of these observances have to do with lighting the darkness, they also have a deeper inner meaning. It is important to remember that we cannot know the light without the darkness. Both are necessary. We have the ability to illuminate our own consciousness through our awareness of a power greater than we are. We may experience that power in many different ways, but they all lead to a greater awareness of our connection, not only with one another, but with that higher power within. So tonight, we light 3 candles. The first is for peace. Beginning with ourselves, and then that peace radiating out to the world. The second is for love, the greatest power of all. And the third is for joy, as we celebrate this coming of the new light within us in the world. No matter what our beliefs may be, these are qualities we can all embrace. So I want to just use some words of Ernest Holmes to take us into a moment of silence. And so just these beautiful words that Ernest wrote. I realize that I am one with the eternal newness of life. All that Spirit is creates in and through me. My body is alive with the life of God. My body is illumined by the light of God. There is no darkness of discouragement, despair, or defeat. My mind is refreshed in that one mind that eternally gives of itself to its creation. Let's take a moment to just go within. We are illumined by the light of God, and each of us is the light of the world. So tonight, as we go out, let's take that light and shine it in the darkness, and together we can light the world. Thank you.
Sorry. Dance. That was so beautiful. I know, we don't know what to do. So I would like to invite Melissa Mojo up to join me as we sing a favorite song of mine. And if many of us, I'm sure when you hear it, you'll remember it. Thank you, Barbara. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail as big as a kite. With a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? A song high above the trees, with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? Do you know what I know? In your palace wall, mighty king, Do you know what I know?
Do you know what I know?
A child shivers in the cold.
Let us bring him silver and gold.
Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say.
Listen to what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere.
Listen to what I say.
Listen to what I say. The child, sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light.
Oh. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Louise. My God. I remember singing that song in high school in the choir. I sang second soprano, but I don't remember that part anymore. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. So first of all, does anybody know about that song and when it was actually written and what it was written for? I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to go into a big story about it. You can go look it up. But it was actually written during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it was a plea for peace. And if you listen to the words or go back and read the words or over, you'll see all the different things that could have to do with bombs exploding and things like that. And it was a plea for peace. That's why it was written. So we're going to just give a little message tonight. And what I wanted to talk about was the idea of mysticism and the mystic. And as you know, some of you, Patrick and I have been going through the transition of a dear little girl, 19 years old, and we just came back from her celebration of life. And the reason I bring this up is because one of the things that we've been going through was the idea of knowing, like trying to understand what was happening and how to come to peace with it and how to go on, really, actually. And answers start to come. And what I've been understanding about that is that we are all mystics. We put certain people aside as mystics, like Jesus and Buddha and Allah and all the different, prophets and everything. We put them aside and we say, oh, those are the mystics. But we all have the capability to be a mystic. And the difference between a mystic, well, Ernest writes that a mystic is not a mysterious person. A mystic is not a mysterious person, but is one who has a deep inner sense of life and of his or her unity with the whole. So a mystic is not a mysterious person. It's not designated for Jesus the Christ or any other great prophet. We are each mystics. And how this has helped me is that what I've realized as I'm searching for my answers, that I have all those answers within me. But what happens sometimes is we get the answers, but we don't trust them. We start to analyze with our minds or just, judge according to appearances and seeing things, through our mortal eyes, like through our eyes that are based in the relative world and the conditions. But if we'll go within and really ask the questions and understand that we do have the answers, our mysticism, our mystic self will be born even to a greater level. And I find that is what I feel like is happening right now. And Nora was cremated this morning. And we all kind of got together in our different parts of the world. At the moment we knew that she was being cremated, and we did our prayers, and we were actually walking on the path, and this big rainbow just appeared this morning during that time period. And then my cell phone all of a sudden changed its palette without me touching it. I'd never seen this palette, and it was just like a palette of stars. And yeah, right? And then when I talked to her dad on text, he said that 4 hawks flew across the sky, and someone else said, so these are like amazing things, like that you could just take it and like blow it off and say, oh, it was just a coincidence, and start to try to analyze it with your analytical mind, or you could go within and allow it to teach you and allow it to make you realize that there's more to life than what we see. So I believe, and what I want to awaken in each of us tonight, I invite you to awaken the mystic within you, to not rely on, what you read in a book or what you think about, who so-and-so was a mystic, and you could never be that because you are a mystic. And that's what this is all about, is awakening the Christ consciousness within us, the mysticism within us, the oneness, where there's a place within us that knows everything. At any time, we could want an answer. And in our pain, like all the pain that sometimes comes in this life, even within that pain, there is an answer. There is a mystic within there trying to speak through us and give us the message that we need at that time. So we don't we don't get away from our pain. We just dive right into it and allow it to speak to us and talk to us, because there are times of great loss like the one we've had where we really feel that. So, like I said, I just invite you tonight on this beautiful, magical night of Christmas Eve to just dig deep into your own heart, whatever's going in your life, and understand and know that you are a mystic and that you have all the answers within you, because that Christ consciousness, that God consciousness, it's what you are. So thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. So next we have something very special. There's a beautiful poem written by Ernest Holmes that's in our textbook that we all study. And I don't know if it's called Finding the Christ. It's in that chapter. I call it Finding the Christ. And we asked some of our practitioners to come up and read it. And so we want you to hear it. So just sit back, close your eyes, and just listen to these beautiful words. And think of it as a metaphorical idea, because I believe that's what it is. So Reverend Diane, Michelle LeMay, what? You're going to sit up there? Okay. Roseanne, and I think that's it, right? Okay, so I'm going to give the microphone over to you, dear. Have fun.
Asleep in the heart of cosmic love, unborn, universal potential, the Christ child lay. And the great mother soul, brooding over her unborn child, conceived it in the stillness of her universal nature, imparting to it her own being.
Born into time and experience, unnoticed, unseen, yet alive and aware, the Christ child incarnated in human form, taking the likeness of men and women, yet giving no sign of its presence, waiting with utmost patience and love, the revelation that should disclose itself and proclaim the reign of peace.
Many ages passed and vanished in the long yesterdays of time, and still the Christ child waited. Nations appeared and disappeared. Toil, famine, pestilence, and want, hunger, cold, heat, and thirst, war, hatred, blood, and ruin, and still the seed of perfection unrevealed. But the universal wholeness cannot be forever subjected, nor cosmic love be kept from human form. That which was given must be revealed. The seed of perfection must burst. The shoots of heavenly planting must break the cords that bind, fanning the human into a blaze divine.
And so the long-appointed day arrived. A voice from out the stillness spoke, "This is my beloved Son. Let the earth be still in his presence. Let the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and all living creatures be still. Let the hosts of heaven sing praises, and let deep cry unto deep."
Then spoke the child, "I am come to bring peace, I am the child of joy, and to all who will I give life. I am formed of happiness. I am come from the eternal stillness. Quietness and confidence are mine. In the heart of the Father I have lived forever. O nations and all people, look unto me and be saved. Behold my face, shining as the sun, and my feet shod with righteousness. In my left hand are riches and honor, and in my right peace forevermore. All that I am, all that I have, I give.
Thank you so much.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary soul rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night, oh, night divine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
Wow. It's such a different atmosphere tonight than usual, like on a Sunday morning, right? I also count always on being able to see everyone's faces and expressions. So when I can't, I'm even more vulnerable than I would be any other time. I just think that's funny because, you know, on Sundays I can see this row, but so it's all vulnerable. Wow, I always love this topic. I mean, when Rita was singing, sometimes I have to just feel the feelings of what the song is about, opposed to hearing the Savior is born, and then I get all into my head as she was talking about, who's Savior? We don't teach Savior. You know, I get all into that, and I was thinking, when you let that go and you get away from the words are so overrated. They just are. because we want to find all the words to justify what's going on in our lives, right? So that whole wonderful writings of Ernest Holmes, I like that idea that it's been waiting and it's been waiting, right? It's been waiting. Do you ever feel that way? It's been waiting. And I love the story. And, you know, I wasn't there, and some of the people that wrote it weren't either. So therefore, let's just give it our own power, our own definition. And I love the idea about going to the inn and nobody's letting you in the inn. Do you ever feel that way in life? That you just keep going and you're knocking and you're like, I'm here. And they're like, there's no room in the inn. And you keep looking out there and keep looking out there until you look in here and there's that wonderful manger, that wonderful place that invites you in and says, you were always right here. You didn't need the inn. Everything you ever needed was right here. And you're safe. I think if anything that at least I'm feeling, you know, I don't do the we thing, but what I'm feeling is that I'm really requiring safety. I need to feel safe. And there's been a lot going on this month, and I'm sure in all of your lives. There's no big or small. Whatever we're going through, and you think, well, that's really big, and this is, it's not. It's whatever it is for you. But I learned a couple of lessons while I was gone, and I'll bring them on this holy night. And Rita and I were in a hotel for about 3 days at the inn, and they let us in. And every night, we were going through having to go to Nora's, her celebration of life on Saturday, I think it was. So the whole trip was rather surreal and very holy. I really want to say that I have never felt on such holy ground when I was dealing in this arena of what they were calling death. And you had to go breath. I kept telling the fathers, you know, I love this. They said, day by day doesn't work, man. That's an eternity. Moment to moment, breath by breath. That's what my invitation was. And at night, Rita and I would go home. We were pretty exhausted, and there was a baby next door, newborn. And usually, I might have something different to say about the crying of that baby at night. And it was crying so soft that it was like a lullaby, rocking me to sleep. And I started thinking, wow, listen to that baby's voice. Pure innocence that's never been touched by anything. And then we were also in that holy night of somebody who's passed and leaving. And then all of a sudden that veil that's always been up there between life and death, it was so thin. And the message I was getting, that there's a birth of a light that has no age and has no time. And it's timeless and ageless and it's powerful. And all of that pain that people were feeling, you could feel, as I've said this month, the joy in it. So what this means to me is that, what is it that we want to be birthed to? This occasion, this celebration, is not just about the birth of this person, this wonderful mystic called Jesus. This is your wake-up call. This is your time to wake up, to be born in any way that you choose to be. All of that pure, innocent, childlike wonder has now presented itself to you on Christmas Day. I think Jesus' message, that whole Christmas thing, is only one message. Do you know where you come from? This is our royal birthright. And it's nice to call somebody else a king or a queen, but all I know is that, as I've said many times, we're born of royalty. This is our kingship. This is our queenship. So tomorrow and tonight, as the wise men are bringing all those gifts to us, we're that embodiment of Christ consciousness. We have the opportunity to not look to 2,000 years ago and tell the story. We get to tell the story of our birth in consciousness, and what we're going to do with it. Now that, to me, is a Mary consciousness. Absolutely. So here we are. I know it's, you know how difficult it is to be me, don't you? Yeah. Thank goodness everybody got all serious on this holy night of sacred. They were like, wow. I was going, wow, everybody's all holy night. You are holy. And if anything, my message for tonight is for us to remember to take life breath by breath and never take a moment of it for granted. And our idea is not to look at that. I did not come back birthed with morbidity. I came back birthed with joy. That this light is now everywhere called Nora. And she has been birthed, and she's that star up there, if you let her be, even if you don't know her, to guide you to where you want to be in your life. Merry Christmas. Namaste.
It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to all, let heaven's freedom ring. The world in silent stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Peace on the earth, goodwill to all, let heaven's freedom ring. The world in silent stillness lay to hear the angels sing, to hear the angels sing. Peace on earth, goodwill to all.
Thank you. Okay, so you're going to teach it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do our candle lighting now.
And
But
then
first-
the candle
But first, before we
directions.
do that, and we're going to end up closing out with Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Reverend Diane's going to be blessing us out. So we just want to say thank you for coming. We want to thank Barbara and Louise and Dr. Peggy and all the practitioners that took part tonight, and to beautiful Ron Stover and Reverend Suzanne, who helped with the hospitality. And thank you for bringing treats, too. That was wonderful.
And Heather
So-
and Maureen jumped in behind.
Oh, yeah, Heather and Maureen. So thank you to everybody that served tonight and to all of you for being here. So we have 3 candle lighters. Where are they? How come I only have 2 of the? Oh, I have 3. You're going to be one. You can pick your own lighter. Okay. What they're going to do is there's the third lighter. Who's the third lighting person?
Oh, there's some.
Yeah, bigger. It takes a tough wrist, let me tell you, to open this.
So just so you know, we've gone into the candle world of the battery. So easy, so economical, so all of this stuff. But so this year we found, and I always believe everything is a teaching tool here. So here you go. When you pass the light, they're going to go over. They'll start it on one end, and then so I want you to So Rita will give me the light, but she's not get twisted in towards me. I will go to her light and connect and bring it. Why do we do that? Children of the night, we do that because so we don't drip and burn and do all of that stuff. So is everybody clear? So let's just do this in silence. I'll be quiet and we'll just let these lights start. We can.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With love as our power, family all are we. Let me walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
In this moment, we take a breath of receptivity and allow the peace that we sing about to come within us and share it around the world. In this moment, I give thanks that the power, the presence, and the love of God is right where we are, moving in and through each one of us as peace, as light, as beings of light. And so I give thanks for this wonderful time together. I bless us on our journey through this holiday season of light, and know that each one of us is blessed and a blessing. And so it is.
Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We can stand up for this one. Let our candles stand.
Mele Kaliki Maka is the to say on this bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. You know that Christmas will be green and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kaliki Maka is the way he's way. Say Merry Christmas to you. One more time. Mele Kaliki Maka is the to say on this bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kaliki Maka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, to say Merry Christmas to you. Aloha!
They're so pretty, you don't want to blow them out.
We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the